In Scripture, a basic principle is taught about sowing and reaping. We take the same approach not just in our everyday lives, but also in how we approach chasing and harvesting mature deer. In order to be successful in the whitetail woods, there is a sowing of time and sweat equity that is required in order to reap the harvest of those magical encounters with mature bucks we have been blessed to pursue in God's creation. After one full year of managing and hunting the Kentucky farm, 2015 brought a heightened level of excitement to the reality of what the Kentucky farm was becoming. Understanding the principle of sowing and reaping, Uriah and Joe decided they were only going to invest time in chasing the oldest and most mature deer on the Kentucky farm. The farm was beginning to flourish with some very special 3- and 4-year-old bucks. Joe committed himself to a plan to allow these deer to continue to grow as part of his management plan of reaping mature whitetail bucks on the Kentucky farm. After shooting a very impressive buck in 2014, let alone his first buck ever harvested in the whitetail woods, Uriah was also comfortable in taking this very selective approach to managing the deer on the Kentucky farm. The first day of hunting the farm during the 2015 season resulted in success as friend Josiah Gregg harvested a well-known mature buck named Hook Brows. Uriah was setting over Josiah's shoulder and was able to capture the moment that Josiah harvested his very first buck. It was another special moment shared by two friends as they enjoyed reaping a harvest that resulted from hard work in scouting this particular buck during the early season. On November 1st, Joe was able to harvest his biggest buck to date while hunting a property in southern Indiana. This big-bodied mature buck was known as the 6x4. With his Indiana tag filled, this left Joe with a 1-buck hit list on the Kentucky farm. Joe was going after an old monarch on the farm named Short 10. Short 10 had been roaming the farm under the cover of darkness the past several years. He began showing some recent daytime activity, but that didn't mean the pursuit of this wise old buck was going to end with success. On November the 8th, Mark Helmer, another good friend, harvested a well-known buck named Ali. Mark and Joe were set up in the tree for an early morning hunt, hoping to catch Ali heading back to bedding. The action happened fast just after legal shooting light. Mark's arrow flew true, and now he too was reaping the rewards of the hard work and the mental preparation it takes to chase old mature bucks on the Kentucky farm. The 2015 season continued to move forward, and Uriah and Joe had many encounters with bucks on the farm that just didn't fit into their management plan to harvest. Although these two close hunting partners were not able to harvest a buck on the Kentucky farm in 2015, it did not mean the season was a failure. Many of the younger deer they were watching during the 2015 season survived the winter and were looking very healthy due to the strict habitat management plan that Joe and Uriah had implemented for the Kentucky farm. The shed season was a success for Uriah as he scoured the farm looking for the bucks they would pursue during the 2016 season. During the summer months of 2016, Joe and Uriah enhanced their food plot strategy on the Kentucky farm. Expanding food plots throughout the farm was their top priority. The plan was aggressive and would require a significant amount of work during the off-season, but that is what the principle of sowing and reaping is all about. Not only did the hard work ethic pay off in creating habitat for mature whitetail bucks to thrive, but the passion that Joe and Uriah share for chasing whitetail deer caught the eyes of other passionate hunters as well, who now have become a part of the Whitetail Faktor. All of the hard work that Joe and Uriah began in 2014 and 2015 has set the stage for what you are about to witness in the coming episodes of October Obsession. 2016 was our most successful season to date. Bucks that were 2 years old in 2014 were now mature. Bucks like BLT, Trey, and K2 began to fill the minds of Joe and Uriah as well as that of the Whitetail Faktor team members. We now invite you to come along for the roller coaster ride of emotional highs and lows of the 2016 season. It is what we love to call our October Obsession, and it is the culmination of our true-to-life hunting adventures. Trail camera surveys are a vital part of managing and harvesting fully mature whitetail bucks. At this time, we join Uriah as he takes us along for the very first trail camera survey of the 2016 season.
Hey, thanks for watching another episode. It is that most wonderful time of year. I feel like this time of year almost kicks off the hunting season. I know that obviously we're not hunting, but a month before season opens, the beginning of August, is when we put our trail cameras out. That feels like it gets the whole mindset for myself of getting everything going, figuring out your mature bucks, your target bucks, or whatever you're trying to do from a management aspect on your farm or wherever you're hunting. I feel like that officially starts the hunting season for myself, because there's so much thought process that I put into that whole month on who I'm going to try to go for, where I'm going to hunt at. Do I want to take a chance? Is it worth the risk? But putting the trail cameras out is so much fun for me, especially when I get to go pick them cards. And that's what we're doing now. We generally like to do it a month before season, especially here in Kentucky. We get a good handle on those early season patterns or the summer patterns, which actually fall over into the beginning of the season, all the way up until approximately the middle of September. Those summer patterns hold true through that time. So it's really good for us here in Kentucky. We can use those summer patterns and hunt those. This year, I believe, is going to be a really special year. Probably one of our best yet if a certain few bucks are back. We got a couple 8-pointers that lived through last year, we believe. I found one of their sheds, K2. And then there was a couple 3-year-olds last year. They were 10-pointers. Actually, I think Dr. Trey was a mainframe 11-pointer. He had just a little nub for a 6. And both of those bucks, if they're back and they had, decent antler growth, 10 to 15%, that would be nice to see them back. I did find both of Dr. Trey's antlers last year. So we're really excited. This year could turn out to be one of our best years yet. So I'm really looking forward to pulling those cards and seeing what we find out there.
After the initial card pull, our intuition was correct. A lot of our old friends showed back up, including the 3 that we most sought to see: BLT, Trey, and K2. These are not the only targets, but they are the top targets. In weeks to come, we will take a more specific approach to pursue each of these deer.
Every day that passes is a day closer to September 3rd opener. To control our excitement and obsession, we rely again on our trail cameras and the intel they can bring us. The chess match is approaching and we are ready. Or at least we think we are.